traitors.
January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Yes, yes.
The Justice Department scored a critical win in its prosecution of the January 6th attack. Today, 4 members of the Proud Boys, including the group's leader, Enrique Tarrio, were convicted of seditious conspiracy related to the Capitol riot.
The evidence presented at trial detailed the extent of the violence at the Capitol on January 6th and the central role these defendants played in setting into motion the unlawful events of that day. Today's verdict makes clear that the Justice Department will do everything in its power to defend the American people and American democracy.
January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Yes, yes.
January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Yes, yes.
The so-called Proud Boys, including their leader, Enrique Tarrio, were found guilty of seditious conspiracy, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 20 years. Merrick Garland wanted to draw attention to today's convictions, and so he stepped up to a microphone at the Justice Department with federal prosecutors and the director of the FBI on each side of him, and he delivered a carefully phrased statement, which was as close as he could possibly come to telling Donald Trump that he is next.
And now, after 3 trials, we have secured the convictions of leaders of both the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers for seditious conspiracy, specifically conspiring to oppose by force the lawful transfer of presidential power. Our work will continue. At my Senate confirmation hearing just over a month after January 6th, I promised that the Justice Department would do everything in its power to hold accountable those responsible for the heinous attack that sought to disrupt a cornerstone of our democracy. The Justice Department will never stop working to defend the democracy to which all Americans are entitled.
In a civil lawsuit filed against Donald Trump for inciting the attack on the Capitol, a federal judge handling the case wrote, "The court concludes that the complaints establish a plausible conspiracy involving President Trump. That civil conspiracy included the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, Tarrio, and others who entered the Capitol on January 6th with the intent to disrupt the certification of the Electoral College vote through force, intimidation, or threats."
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
Are you
I'm
prepared
willing to do
specifically
that,
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would
right
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing
problem. White supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what his
it's an idea.
FBI his
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well,
we're
then
gonna-
you know what?
No,
He's
no, we're
wrong.
done. We're done, sir.
We look at Antifa as more of an ideology or a movement than an organization.
Between the years 2000 and 2016, the white supremacists were responsible for more homicides than any other domestic extremism movement.
A majority of the domestic terrorism cases that we've investigated are motivated by some version of what you might call white supremacist violence.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.